everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome to Transgurus. We are here again, and we hope that you like our shows. And subscribe us, please.
That's right.
We
Click
will.
that button.
Um, it's good to have Raji back.
Ah,
Raji's been very active in our community, and on behalf of our community, thank you for all you do.
oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
A group chat last night. I understand that where Bobby lives in Kentucky, there's some pretty severe weather. So
Correct. Yeah.
she's to be with us today.
And she's traveling, so it's going to be a little bit of a difficulty that to join us. Yeah, absolutely.
So today we're going to talk about in today's world, is integrity the exception? And integrity is the natural tendency to do the right thing, to have a moral compass, to know the innate ability to know the difference between right and wrong, a moral compass. And in today's world, I feel sometimes that integrity, someone possessing integrity is the exception, not the norm. And this was maybe a month or two ago. One of my company vehicles was involved in a minor, ultra slow speed fender bender on a road where my vehicle wasn't even damaged. The other person's vehicle had the scratched paint. And as it turns out, the driver of that vehicle now got a lawyer and claiming injury. And I have another friend of mine that works for a very large nationwide law firm, and she's telling me that a good percentage of their cases are these types of cases, and it's been normalized. What's happened is that the insurance company to pay the claim, that it is to go to court and fight it and all that. So it's like common knowledge on the street. You get a parking lot incursion, you get yourself a lawyer, everyone settle out of court for X amount of dollars, and there you go. And then, but we all end up paying for it. This is an example of our system being gamed. The laws were produced with the intention that people have integrity and ethics. And while these character traits fleeting, there's more and more abuse of our system. And same with government assistance. Back in the day, government assistance, was a safety net. Now it's turned into a hammock. And, once you get in the hammock, you don't want to get out. So we've somewhat normalized gaming the system of our government and of our society to the extent that the corruption and the mismanagement of these laws is such that we're all paying for it. The insurance that I've been, all of this homeowners insurance in the state of Florida is off the chart. Vehicle insurance off the chart. All kinds of insurance off the chart, because that there's just a tremendous amount of fraud.
Absolutely.
So just because someone else is gaming the system doesn't mean we should, and it doesn't normalize it. It doesn't make it right. And I think as trans gurus, I think part of our responsibility and our contribution to our community, and as humanity at large, is to remind people of our ethical responsibility as a member of this society. And I think this gives us a lot of good stuff to talk about today.
Yeah,
Ella.
absolutely. I think it's a really interesting theme, and a theme, that affects everybody. in my day, I've seen a hell of a lot of fraud like that too in the business world, not only with the, with car accidents and stuff like that. But I mean, we had in the company that I used to work for, we had about three monumental cases and very expensive, cases where our company was sued for reasons which were not really, we're not affected. But someone just found out that probably they can earn a buck, an extra buck, just because they filed against us. One of those cases, we used to make insulation materials for electrical stuff. And one of the cases was really terrible because there was a guy which apparently he got a very large shock. He got electrocuted. He didn't die, but he was severely hurt. And he told that he used our products. Well, the whole thing went 2 years. And in the end, it was proven that he did not use our product. First. And second, there was no product for the use of what he did. But anyway, but it is sometimes some people go to the extreme, really extreme, just for an extra dollar without taking into consideration what the other people think. You know what I mean? It's not right. It really is not right. I've seen a couple of things like that. And of course, insurances, they get very expensive because of that. Obviously, because you have an insurance, someone has to pay for it. Unless you don't have an insurance, it's out of your own pocket, which you probably will not be able to afford. So it's a big issue. I mean, yes, I've experienced the same as you have. I have to say, it's a little bit of an American problem because I think it's worse in the United States than in any other country. I have to say that. At least all the countries that I live, people in the other countries seem to have a little bit more responsibility. But it happens as well, okay? It happens as well. I mean, this is my experience. Raji, probably you can say something like that together with our community because you are so extremely strong in our community.
Flattery will get both of you everywhere. Thank you so
Your
much.
experiences too.
Yeah, I'm sorry. What did you say?
You've got your experiences too. We know.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I sure have. My God. So I have been affected. You know how both Jimmy and Ella were talking about how when people do this, it makes the insurances go up. So my car insurance was $208, and it was just renewed, and I am now paying for the last few months $289.
Oh,
Now,
wow.
I've never seen an increase like that since I've had car insurance. It'll go up a little bit, like 20 or 30, that kind of thing. But like to go up that drastic. And when I called the insurance company, this was their response to me. They said, well, they do an assessment of the area that you live in. All right. And based on I guess like the accidents and like the insurance claims for your area, that determines whether or not, or I should say, how high your insurance is raised. So I have a friend that works at a car dealer, and I was telling her that she says, "Oh, that was kind of a bunch of crock." But the bottom line is, a lot of people are putting claims in, so they're raising everyone's insurance. So, I think all of us have been affected on some level. There is something for me about having integrity. Like, for me, it's a good feeling. When I know that I'm living my life with integrity, it makes me feel good. Now, I can only speak for me. Maybe I'm sure there's people out there they could care less whether they're living their life with integrity or not. But I do believe that the universe, there's kind of a checks and balances, if you will, in the universe. And when you do things, whether it's quote unquote good or bad, it has a way of coming back to you. Now, I say all of that to say, I think in the defense, I don't even know if it's a defense, but like it's me looking at the whole picture of why people might do something like this. So for the average Joe Blow, most people are working their behinds off. They're going to work every day, and they're barely making it. And then something like this happens, and they see a leeway. Oh my God. Well, my back is a little sore. Like, they're not in the hospital or in traction or anything, or, they haven't been horribly hurt or mangled, but they're home now after the accident. And they're like, oh, my neck feels a little funny. And they see it as an opportunity. And I think the attitude is, well, the rich do it. And when I say that, they find their loopholes and their ways to like maneuver with their money that sometimes always isn't with integrity. You know what I mean? And so it's almost like the attitude is, well, hell, if the powerful people are doing it and I'm like freaking working my ass off every day for my family and I can barely keep a roof over my head. And when I go to the market, groceries are horrible. This is a way for me to come up and get some extra money. And I think that that's what, uh, like for a lot of people, that's what it boils down to. It's not that they're sitting thinking, oh, how can I F the system, or how can I, screw that person that I had the fender bender with. It's like, oh my God, I could get some extra money to give me some relief. Now, I'm not saying that that's right, but I'm just saying that that could possibly be the reason why a lot of people do it. And right now in the world, it's hard. If there are people that are working like two jobs and can barely make it. And so, I'm someone that's been affected in a bad way because I'm paying almost $100 more now for my car insurance. So I'm suffering from it, but I can also look at the other side and, speculate why someone might do it, and especially when you have all the stuff going on with the quote unquote leaders and big people, quote unquote, in the world who are doing stuff that might not be, with too much integrity. It's more like, how can I maneuver my money and how can I make more? And during COVID, the super rich, just so you know, they got richer. During COVID, they got richer. So anyway, Ella, I'll throw it back to you.
Well, that is something which is unfortunately a little bit normalized. I mean, I see very often, what's going on around the world, and when you tell the richer get richer, it's as well the companies. The companies have become so monopolistic.
Yes.
Companies, they are buy and they buy companies and they buy companies. They become that is a little bit part of the integrity, because in a way I always think, United States is a land of, everybody's got a possibility of doing something. When you have these huge empires like Amazon, like Google or whatever, they are huge empires. I wonder, okay, I'm not complaining about them. I just wonder, what is it, was it be doing to, to the small people, the small companies? In my business, we have one company which literally is buying everybody else. And all of a sudden it's it's difficult to dialogue with them, because their power is so high,
Yeah.
So it's another thing,
And Ella, I think you hit on something with the monopoly, like these companies getting a monopoly on a particular industry. And then what happens is they do have a lot of power and they don't have a lot of competition price wise. So they can keep going up, up, up and get away with it, for their services.
When I was young, there used to be something called the Monopoly Commission.
Yeah.
And many companies, when they would get too big, there would be some kind of, something to be done. I remember, throughout the history of the United States, but you don't see them anymore, do you?
I'm not sure if they still exist, but I think if they do, the stuff is still going on and it's going on more than it has ever gone on. I saw a post on Facebook the other day where it says, this is the reason why everything is so expensive now. And they said soda industry ran by three companies. They went down the line. This industry, two companies run it. This, because what happens is a company buys another company, they might have a different name, but it's under the same umbrella, the same company.
Mhm. Anyway, that is, I don't know, Jimmy, do you want to tell something about that girl?
Sure. What we're openly talking about is the decay of our society. And many things come to mind. There's different kinds of rich. I would rather be poor financially and rich with integrity.
Mm,
And just because someone does this doesn't give me permission to do that.
Absolutely.
And uh, self self responsibility begins with ourselves.
Yep.
Just because someone else is gaming the system doesn't mean to. If someone else has accountants that they can cheat on their taxes or get it down to the minimum, doesn't mean I should. This is why we're in this predicament as the United States. We're in a predicament because so many people are gaming the system, and
Yep.
it's a collapse. So money has juju. I've learned over the years that money possesses uh, intrinsic karma, and just like the Jimmy Buffett song, uh, made enough money to buy Miami, but it didn't last. He's talking about the marijuana smuggled back in the 80s. Made
Yeah.
enough money to buy Miami, but I pissed it away so fast.
yeah.
You know, you, you, uh, you hear of folks winning the lottery, and then 5 years later they're broke or they're dead. So the ill-gotten gains. Um, so getting back to the money has intrinsic karma behind it. So if the money that you earn through gainful employment or through innovation or investing or making a contribution to society. So the the money that has value, good juju behind it, is money that is generated through bettering our society one way or another. I don't care what it is, doing someone's hair, nails, trimming trees, heart surgery, whatever it may be. Whatever our contribution is to society, that's how we make our living. That money's got good juju.
Absolutely.
And you're probably going to have a very balanced and stable life. You can sleep good at night. And I know Ella mentioned the pandemic. Back during the pandemic, being a business owner, my business was eligible for the Paycheck Protection Program.
Oh, yeah, I
Yes.
remember that one.
That was designed for the out of work cook, or someone in a restaurant, the out of work bartender, where they closed all the restaurants and all the bars. But we were working outside, so we stayed working. You know, so the the Small Business Bureau that manages all that for the government was contacting me via email almost daily to sign up for this. And so this was about 2 weeks into it, maybe 3 weeks into it. I went ahead and signed up for it, and the amount of money that we were going to get was substantial. And but I never hit the send button. And this was and I surveyed many of my friends that own businesses, and they all said, Jimmy, take it. It's free money. And I'm like, there's no such thing as free
Nothing
money.
is free in the world. Come on.
This was my thinking process, that the money in my business account had good juju,
Yeah.
had good karma, because it was earned with good intent. Now I'm going to dilute my good juju money with money that's got bad juju. It's going to dilute the value of my money. And so that's how I thought about it. And so when we think that we're getting over the system or gaming the system, the money that we have that we earned by gainful employment has good juju. Yeah. Now you're going to get some BS legal settlement or something free from the government or something, and then you're going to blend your money with that money. Your money now just lost value.
Absolutely.
Because it's good intrinsic karma. And so the universe has eyes, and people think they're gaming the system or getting over on the man, or however you think about it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. Raji mentioned something about balance. It's all, I think the whole world, the whole earth is out of balance to the degree that the earth is wobbling on its axis. And the earth is going to spin us off like a dog is shaking off fleas. And we need to be careful on how we behave and interact with others, that the rubber band's going to snap. And all this money that we think we have, it's not going to have any purchasing power. That's what's going on right now, that the government's printed so much money that it's not that a loaf of bread's becoming more expensive. It's just that the dollar's losing value, so you need more dollars to buy that same loaf of bread. So as a guru, again, we're spiritual teachers. It's our position in our community to help people become aware of trends in our society, and how to stay on the straight and narrow, so to speak, when the winds of time are trying to blow us off our feet. It takes a person with immense integrity, immense character, to maintain our footing on today's earth, because there's so many temptations to game the system or try to get something for free.
Yeah.
And I know and like Raji was talking about, when we live with integrity, that gives us a sense of wealth that far exceeds most other people. And I remember reading something a while ago. You can determine a person's true wealth, their true wealth, not by the amount of money that they have in the bank, but the amount of value that we add to others.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So be an asset for society, not a liability. live your life in such a way that we are an asset to society and not a liability.
Absolutely. I have to tell you, these are very, very wise words. And I have to say too, not everybody is bad. There are lots of people which are really integer, they've got integrity. They do everything to help the others. Thank God for them. And, please keep on. And, some of the rich people too, they help other people too. Don't forget that. I mean, and they help a lot. So it's nothing. I mean, rich people are great people too. Poor people are great people too. Everybody, but in every single scale, there is the the people which have got integrity and the people which do not have integrity. It's not a question of money or a question of, it's just a question of your own values.
Yeah.
And this is very, very important. Okay, we are going to make a little bit shorter today. And I think we're probably going to do it not 1 hour, but half an hour in the future. So I leave you, beautiful girls, to tell your last words. Go ahead, Raz.
Sure. So I don't know if you remember, I think there was a song out that said, money is the root of all evil. And early on, I learned that money is the root of what you do with it. So money can be evil if you do evil things with it. It can be good if you do good things with it. But I want to go beyond money. And I want to go to the word prosperity because I believe that there is a difference. You know, when you look at someone like Steve Jobs that like contributed to the world through the technology and was a billionaire, and he got sick, and all those billions of dollars couldn't save his life. I guess it was his time was done here and he had to leave. But my point is that when you have prosperity, you have your health, you have loving, fulfilling experiences, you have a situation in your life that things work out for you, even if you're not rich. I'm an example of that. Like, I'm not rich. I'm probably very lower end middle to probably like lower middle class. Um, but, but my life is very prosperous. And I don't take that for granted. I'm so happy and thankful, grateful. I have a lot of gratitude that I'm where I am now. And that's not to say that I don't want or desire more things or more experiences, but it's just being able to be thankful for where you are in the moment. And I do believe that also opens the doors for you to be able to attract more. Um, so I would just say this to everyone out there. To me, it all starts and it's all rooted in one's intention.
Mm.
If you are living your life and you know that your intentions are good, you have well intentions, because sometimes you'll get a break. Things will happen where maybe it's not fair to someone else, but you weren't strategically or conspiring for that to happen, but it was given to you. And like the way things flowed, maybe you got in ahead of someone. When I'm just using like that as an example. If you know that your I'm losing the word, intention. If you know that your intentions were good, that matters a lot. So that's the core of it. I think, like, when you do something, why do you do it? Like, I even ask myself sometimes, and I've done this before. You help somebody. Okay, that's kind and wonderful. But why? Like, what is the intention behind it? Because sometimes people help you because they want something. They're not doing it purely from their soul. It's like, oh, I'm going to help this person because maybe I can get this out of them. So that's what I mean about intention. But I'll just say this and I'll throw it back to Ella. All of this is temporary. This human experience
Yeah.
is temporary. And I know for sure whatever the time is that I have to leave this body and this physical realm, I want to be able to go knowing that I really did try to live a life of integrity and good intentions. And like I had said earlier in the video, when I do things like out of the goodness of my heart and like with integrity, it's just a feeling that you can sleep at night. Jimmy had said it. You can sleep in peace because you know that you did it with pure intentions. Ella.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I I have to tell you something. I am extremely rich. Not in my bank account, but in my experience account. I've been in so many places. I've done so many things. I have had a really wonderful life. The rest, and I have got a very good, let's say, I know that I've helped many people. That is my thing. Jimmy, you go ahead.
I love Raji's comments. Awesome.
Thank
And I
you.
think if we also if we also recognize that we're all connected, all humans are part of the same living organism. So let's look at like the human body. What would happen if one cell killed another cell for its food supply? So the human body would cannibalize itself.
Mm.
And in essence, when we uh, do harm to another human, we're actually doing harm to ourselves because that other human and us are all part of the same ecosystem.
Yep.
We're all part of the the quantum connectiveness of all things. All humans are connected to something greater than ourselves. And if we recognize that we're all connected, and I think um, all humans are we're connected to something far greater than ourselves. And I don't think, in my opinion, we've evolved to the point to even recognize what that is. I think the universe and the human consciousness is so so vast, so intricate, so interconnected, so infinite that in our current level of our current level of development, we're just not unable to comprehend. It's like no matter how hard you try, you can't teach a 3-year-old algebra. You know, I think our spiritual development is a work in progress. And I hope the time comes soon that we all awaken to the fact that we're all connected. We're all connected to the same thing and we don't even know what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it was a really great time. We missed Bobby. She'll probably come hopefully next week.
Sending you love, Bobby.
Yeah, she's really, but I mean, we understand why she's not here. Anyway, everybody, thank you very much for listening to Transgurus. Subscribe to us. We'll see you next week and bye. Bye.
Namaste.
Bye.
So